Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's worth your time and bandwidth. Today's game is Ghostwire Tokyo. The Evil Within and Hi-Fi Rush's devs' open-world yokai game is finally out on the Xbox. Does this spooky shooter deliver? Let's find out. Ghostwire Tokyo is an open-world objective-based game with a light emphasis on platforming and a heavy emphasis on gathering a bajillion collectibles Banjo-Kazooie style. You play as two protagonists, the Corporal Akito, last human alive after the rest of Tokyo are mysteriously raptured away, and KK, a detective spirit that has possessed him to help solve this rapture problem. The culprits are a bunch of mask-wearing weirdos whom you'll pursue to try and figure out what exactly is going on and why the city is full of yokai, strangers, and other sorts of oddities. The larger story itself is fine, though for me I enjoyed the smaller side portions the most, as I personally really enjoyed Japanese folklore and felt the game did a good job wrapping a lot of that into a modern setting. What you'll actually be doing most of the time is some pretty dang standard Ubisoft-style objective marker open-world exploration. Each area has a shrine that, when cleared, opens up the map and allows for exploration fast travel. There's plenty of crap to find, from statues that increase ammo, tanukis that provide upgrades, equipment, cosmetics, and spirits. Spirits get a special mention as they're your core method of progression, and there's over 200,000 of them in the game, no joke. As you collect them, you'll cash them in at a payphone, which will grant you XP and money, with levels giving skill points to upgrade your character in a variety of kits, including traversal, survival, and combat. Combat is first person and is very flashy but also very basic. Your primary kit is 3 elements, wind, fire, and water, which basically translates to pistol, rocket launcher, and shotgun respectively. You also have a bow as well as some talismans that are kind of like grenades. As you damage enemies, you'll expose their cores, which can be ripped out to kill the enemy and grant a health boost, or you can just keep attacking until they explode. There's also some light platforming in that you can get on the roofs of buildings and hover a bit to find more collectibles and embark on the game's multiple side quests. And honestly, that's the basic gist of Ghostwire. It's an open world objective-based first-person game, but with a spiritual Tokyo theme and some really great aesthetic choices. So what do I like about Ghostwire Tokyo? Well, the game's aesthetic is gorgeous. The strong liminal spaces of Tokyo paired with bright neon and the supernatural rain and fog really have just some incredible atmosphere. Additionally, the side stories and Japanese folklore flavor I found very engaging. And while the side missions aren't exactly complex, they do a lot of interesting environmental storytelling that compelled me. And lastly, exploration is fun and addicting, and I found myself wanting to hop back and explore another area, and honestly the shorter length works in that regard. And kind of an aside plus, it's worth mentioning that the DualSense implementation on the PS5 is exceptionally good here. I don't usually mention stuff like that, but the rumble, triggers, and speaker are all used in really cool ways, so preference the PS5 if you have it. When it comes to the bad, the combat isn't really that great. And while enemies are cool visually, there isn't a ton of variety in terms of how you combat them. Additionally, while I like the exploration, the actual platform itself is pretty bad. Do yourself a favor and save all your points for the move that lets you grapple to any ledge, as it makes the game way more fun. And lastly, the main draw is really just finding a bajillion collectibles, which is fun enough when you're getting organic exploration out of it, but if you aren't, you might find the whole experience a little bog standard and maybe even tedious. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. I think Ghostwire Tokyo is a maybe consider, but is definitely a hidden gem. While I personally don't usually enjoy objective marker open world style games, Ghostwire won me over with its incredible art direction and short length, which ensured I didn't ever get super bored. Its core gameplay doesn't try anything too new or exciting, but if you enjoy open world games, fantastic aesthetic and liminal spaces, or just Japanese folklore in general, Ghostwire might be your new favorite. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you played Ghostwire Tokyo, let me know what you think about it in the comments. But regardless, make sure you go out there and give this game a look.